The Department for Work and Pensions says that its planned universal credit, which always sounds quite space age to me, will substantially reduce child poverty by making work pay, tackling in-work poverty and lifting 450,000 children out of poverty. And joining me now is Jason Slack from the Hunslet Club in Leeds. Hello, Jason.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. I was thinking, let's start by talking about what you do with the Hunslet Club. So what is the Hunslet Club?
Well, the Hunslet Club is a youth club in South Leeds. It's been going for 70 years now. It started at the height of the Blitz in the Second World War, and has just grown and grown and grown since then. And now we've got 1,300 members, and we're one of the top 5 biggest youth clubs in the country.
Wow, I could see you swelling with pride there. I would too. Now, what do you think about this story? Do you think the government's going to be able to stop child poverty?
It's certainly got a challenge on its hands. I mean, what the club does, there's kind of 2 sides to what we do in South Leeds. On the one hand, on evenings and weekends, we've got this membership of 1,300 people that come to us for everything from sports, including kind of football, boxing and gymnastics, to arts activities, including kind of cheerleading and street dance and break dance and all these fun things.
Sign me up for the break dance right now.
Do.
Yeah.
Well, certainly will. So we'll have you along on Wednesday at 6:30. So that's the sort of one side of what we do. But then during the daytime as well, we're not stood empty during the day. We run a vocational training scheme. So we teach 14 to 16-year-olds who come from all the local schools, and they learn everything from kind of car and bike mechanics to construction skills to hair and beauty skills. And these gain them qualifications that they can then take on to apprenticeships and eventually employment.
Well, one of the things I wanted to ask you about was there was this figure that it's if you've got a family of 4, 2 adults, 2 children, living on less than £348 a week. That's the definition of being in poverty. And I think maybe some people are sort of saying, well, that's a manageable amount of money, but that's for everything. And I guess when you have a sum like that, you can get by, you can survive, but things like school trips aren't going to be happening, days out aren't going to be happening. And I was just guess from you anecdotally, at the Hunslet Club, you do all these activities in the evening that maybe some people think aren't vital to existence. But what kind of a difference does that make for people who get to do those activities?
I think they are vital, really. It's important that young people have got something to do. Otherwise, they can go down, all sorts of different wrong paths in their lives. So by coming to us to do these different activities and keeping them affordable as well is the important thing. I mean, Hunslet is one of the poorest wards in the city. So what we try to do is we keep all our activities affordable. It's all kind of like £1, £1.50 to come in. Wow. Whereas you go elsewhere, it's kind of like £5, £10 and completely unaffordable for a lot of people. And the way that we're able to keep that price down is through our sort of fundraising efforts, by having functions at the building, through our daytime work with education. We just try to keep the organisation as sustainable as possible, so that the end user, the beneficiaries of it, aren't out of pocket and are really sort of benefiting from those activities.
Yeah. Now, are you surprised to hear this news about this number, 300,000 children?
I'm not too surprised, to be honest. I mean, there's all sorts of pockets of poverty all around the city and all around the country, particularly sort of around kind of the South Leeds area.
Yeah. So, tell us about this Disrupting Poverty event. That's happening this afternoon.
Yes.
Is that right?
All day, I think.
All day?
Yes.
We're disrupting it all day. So, what's the plan?
Disrupting
you were saying earlier,
it's going to be an interesting event, actually. It's come about through a particularly innovative community development worker called Mike Chitty, who was watching a programme on television a couple of months ago, I think, about child poverty, and he was shocked by what he saw of people kind of living in the kind of houses they were, the kind of worries that they had in their life, and he thought, well, what can the city do about this? So he just, largely through social media, through Twitter, through Facebook, said to people, right, who wants to come together to do something about this?
Yeah.
So he organised this event, he got the venue sorted out, and he's just got all these different people, from kind of politicians and councillors to youth groups such as ourselves to individuals that care about it.
Right.
And it's just going to be a bit of a meeting of minds to see how different people are going to
see what happens.
To see what happens. Exactly.
Wow, the revolution's going to start.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Here in Leeds, you heard it here first.
Well, listen, we want to hear from you. 0845 303 3333. Let us know what you think about all of this. In the meantime, Jason Slack from the Hunslet Club in Leeds. Sounds like great work you're doing, and it was a pleasure to meet you. Later on, we're going to be talking to Fabian Hamilton, the MP for Leeds North East. He's going to be here to answer your questions. Now, you can grill him about the child poverty. You know, it's one of your chances there to talk to him directly. Or you can talk to him about stuff he's thrown away in bins in parks, which seems to be the new thing for MPs to do.
The BBC's licence fee is...
BBC News at 10 o'clock with Michael Henderson.
Good morning. 1 in 5 children in Leeds are living in poverty. Government figures show 33,000 children in the city are from families who are struggling to survive. Siobhan's a single mum with 3 children. She gets by on £160 a week and says some people like her turn to desperate measures.
Well, people like me, it's the only other way, go out, get a job, but who's going to look after the kids? I've also got a daughter with autism, extra cost in childcare. They're going to take the childcare away, so the only route is a crime. It's a crime. You live on an estate, it's going on around you, you know, you're the only one struggling.
It comes as an event held in Leeds to come up with ways to deal with the problem. Jason Slack is from one of the city's youth clubs. He's told Jake Yapp on BBC Radio Leeds the club helps prepare children for success in the future.
We run a vocational training scheme. So we teach 14 to 16-year-olds who come from all the local schools, and they learn everything from kind of car and bike mechanics to construction skills to hair and beauty skills, and these gain them qualifications that they can then take on to apprenticeships and eventually employment.
Also this morning, the